Okay, so today I'm going to teach you Ansible. So the first question is, what is Ansible? Right. So when I look at the Ansible, I see it's a configuration management tool. Now we use a tool. Why? We know that we want to save cost, right? We want to save time, and then you want to improve the quality and stuff like that. But the question is, uh, what kind of cost, how it is going to save cost, how it's going to save time also, and ultimately improving the quality in what sense. So here I'll put it in a very one line: save cost in terms of uh, putting it very uh, you know put it in a way, uh, resources, save cost in terms of resources for managing, understand that, thousands of server. And I said thousands of server. So for managing a thousands of server, we need multiple resources, right? So those are the things where Ansible can save your cost. Okay. So let's say if you need a, without Ansible, if you need 10 resources or maybe something like that. So with Ansible, maybe you need a 2 resources in software engineers for managing this one. So when I say managing means what kind of management you do. You have to tell me what kind of management we do when we have thousands of servers. What kind of management? So one of the things we do, which patching, correct? We keep updating the software. I mean operating system patching. Another things which you want to do, install and remove some software, modify some files, right? Maybe modify some permissions. So it can be literally any work which you have to do in thousands of server, and for that, how do you do that? That's matter a lot, right? So this is a, in a way, saving cost, saving time, saving cost. Now, saving time, how? So let's say you have a 10 steps to do in one machine. Each step is taking 1 minute. So ultimately you're spending 10 minutes. Now multiplied by thousands of server. So this is a step if you do manually, but with Ansible, 10 steps taking 1 minute is to 10 minutes is to 10 minutes. Thousands of server, it should be taking 10 minutes only. How come? So Ansible will help you for doing everything parallelly in thousands of boxes. So here you can save time. And because you are using a script to manage thousands of servers, so all the servers will be consistently changed. Okay, change management. So it will help you to improve the quality of the software. Make sense? All of you? All of you?
Yes, sir.
So, but still I'm not able to understand. Tools is okay, management is okay, but what is this config? Why we call it config? We call it config because configuration is a very global, I mean, a very wide keyword actually. You can use it anywhere. So when you talk about the configuration management tool and when you talk about the Ansible, then basically we are talking about the servers as config management. Okay, servers configuration. So you modify the servers, not one and two, hundreds of each, configuration management. So that's the reason we call it configuration management tool. So now next question you should ask, what's there in the server? What's there in the server? You know that very well. I should tell you, just to remind you, you have a files, you have a directory, you have a user, you have a group, packages, apt and all, yum services. You have, you know, these are a hell lot of things. Whatever you see in the server, it's there in the server, and this whole you want to modify in the thousands of servers. Simple. So you use Ansible for it. So is that clear why we call it Ansible is a configuration management tool, all of you?
One question, Rajesh, like, you have included patching and install also, right? So how is that is part of a configuration?
Simple. Step number one, I mean, scenario number one, you have a, let's say, 10 boxes and you want to upgrade some server. So you go manually each one of these and manually do that. Or option number two, Ansible, which will do the parallelly patching for you. So like that. So this will automate plus run parallelly in each server.
Maybe it's
Getting
too
my point?
early, but this question I have because there is I still didn't know clearly what is the difference between Terraform and Ansible, because one say configuration, one other say infrastructure management. So this install and patching are part of infrastructure management, right? So how these two are used interchangeably? That's the main question actually I have.
Yeah, that's a good question actually. This is an interview question also. People will ask you, what is the difference between Ansible and Terraform? Do we need both or not? So let me tell you here, simple way. See, using Ansible also you can do lots of things. Using Terraform also you can do lots of things in terms of infrastructure management. But the question is which is designed for what, in which way, I mean best way. So you should answer if you want to create infrastructure from AWS, Azure, or whatever it is, what you say, Google Cloud, or multiple thousands of providers are there in Terraform. So if you want to create infrastructure, then you should use Terraform because Terraform will help you to creating. So now they'll ask you, can you not do with the Ansible? Yes, you can do that, but Terraform is a more suitable, better design for that work. Actually. Now Ansible, if you want to update the infrastructure resources, for example, VMs you created, you want to change something in the VM, then you should use Ansible. So creating infrastructure, one part, Terraform is the best for it. And when I say infrastructure, AWS has a 5,000 services. You should create using Terraform. But let's say when you want to update your VMs, patching, you want to copy certain new files, new build, add a new user, run some script, then Ansible is good.
So
Make
even
sense?
creating VMs also is Terraform is better.
No, I said you should create it using Terraform.
Oh yeah,
I mean, and manage through Ansible.
managed to Ansible. Okay.
So, but if you ask me, Rajesh, can I not do with Ansible? Yes, you can do that one also, creating also. But Terraform is much more designed for
Hmm.
that. Okay, so I'll
If
put
you
it this way
specifically
forward.
specifically ask what is the advantage, what to ask, answer that.
So advantage you can say Terraform support thousands of provider for wide range of resources in a easy way, in less
Okay.
code, and you can write in a lot many things. Ansible is basically fundamentally designed for modifying the servers parallelly for many work actually. So Ansible is not designed for your S3 work or EBS work or load balancer work or DNS work. You can do that, but it's not designed for that. Ansible, the original requirement was to modify the thousands of servers in one go,
Okay.
parallelly, consistently. Got it?
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Thanks.
So they will ask you one more question like whether you want Ansible or Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is different. I'll teach you Kubernetes also. Kubernetes basically is creating a new pods all the time, new containers all the time. So configuration is not required in that case. Mind it. See here. I'll just go long back. I had written this one. I need to update it. Not getting time for it. This one, if you remember, some of you, I said. So see here. Look at this. Uh, Look at this line. So if you want to deploy in the QA or staging or pre-prod or prod, and if your servers are existing, then you should use Ansible. But if you are having containerization, then you should use Docker and Kubernetes. So because in the Kubernetes we replace, I repeat, we replace the machine, I mean containers. But if you want, you cannot replace the VMs. If you have to existing VM, you have to maintain it. Then you can use Ansible, Chef, Puppet, many other tools are there. So I am teaching you Ansible for it. Got it? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's a configuration management tool. Now they have a multiple releases actually. One of is Ansible itself, the one which I'm teaching you. Another one we call it Tower, and another one we call it AWX. So this is a GUI based and paid software, and this is also GUI based paid software. So what is the difference between? Sorry, this is a free one. AWX is free. So what is the difference between Tower and AWX? Both are same actually, but the only thing is AWX, the one there's no support actually, and what they do, the latest version of Tower, which is not tested thoroughly, they released for the people, so people can try it out, and the support is not, I mean, free in this AWS. So I'm teaching you Ansible, which is a command line tool and which is free. By the way, in order to use the UI also, you need all these things. That means I would say 80% of the work is here, 20% of work is here. So these are the three releases. Now Ansible has been developed using Python, okay, and likewise developed in Python. Now this is from the company which is called Red Hat. Now if you say, Rajesh, I don't like Ansible, no problem. Then you have to like Chef. If you don't like Chef, Puppet, Salt, and few more tools are there, which is not in this list actually. So clear, all of you, what is Ansible and what exactly is doing? So Ansible is a configuration management tool which will help you to manage the servers, thousands of servers, changes in a consistent way. All of you understood now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the next question is how Ansible Ansible works. How Ansible works. That is important thing, right? How Ansible works. Guys, here you are the one. You need to work with ACS. ACS for Ansible control server. You can call it in a simple way Ansible server also. That is up to you. And here ACS manage all the ARS. ARS means Ansible remote server. So changes you have to do here done by this guy, but instructed by you. So Ansible control server, Ansible remote server. Okay, so this is the architecture. Now Ansible control server always has to be Linux. Mind it, it has to be Linux, 64-bit. Okay, that means server you have to install in Linux only. You cannot install in Windows. But you know what, nowadays the WFS file, I mean, uh, uh, Microsoft WFS has come, right? So those things you can use for Ansible also. ARS is can be anything. Okay, in Ansible ACS you need to have a Python installed. Okay, Python installed, and then here you have to install Ansible. Ansible will be installed only here. Here, not applicable. Here, if you have a Windows, then we have to install PowerShell 3 and .NET. This is the PowerShell. But you know what? Most of the Linux which is coming with the Python, most of the Windows means, when I say most of the Windows, that means almost all Windows, right? I've not come across any Windows so far where the PowerShell is not there and .NET is not installed. Is there, right? So it's there. I'm just telling you for your knowledge purpose. Ansible is installed here, which in ARS is not installed. So that's the reason we call it agentless. Ansible is agentless. So how this ACS, which is in Linux, talk to the ARS, which is in Linux? So protocol, in terms of protocol, communication protocol, okay, they use SSH if they are talking to Linux. Of course, that's the reason it's agentless. You don't need to install. But if you are using Windows, then they use WinRM. WinRM is a default protocol nowadays. Is a part of the Windows. WinRM. It's HTTP protocol. So if ACS send any communications to the ARS, use SSH by default and WinRM in terms of Windows. Are you clear, all of you?
ARS stands for what?
ARS for control server. I mean, sorry, remote server. C means control. Let me write it down. Okay. So this is a remote server. Let's put the visualization little bit of for memory, because memory loves visualization. So here this is you, okay, and you will manage the ACS server. This is ACS server, and in ACS servers you'll have an ecosystem which is Ansible and few more things I'll discuss about it in Ansible server, and this one will manage hundreds of remote server. Okay, parallelly, you want to change something, you want to patch something, you want to copy something, you want to delete something, all this thing will happen. So this is a Windows, this is Linux. Got it? So this is a ARS. So far so good, all of you. Guys, be responsive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now next question is, component of ACS. What is a component of ACS? This is the here. So first thing you know, here you have Ansible. Okay. So Ansible we have to install. How to install? I'll teach you. Don't worry about that. So we install Ansible, and after that Ansible, the moment you install Ansible, Ansible will bring lots of executables, which I'll show you, and then it will give you the modules also, and it will give you the plugins also, and it will give you this what is it, config file also, config file. So these are the primary things you will get it when you install Ansible. But apart from that, you have to also bring some of your things also. What is that? So you have a playbook and then inventory. Now, what is all this thing? I'll need to discuss about it. What is playbook? What is inventory? What is Ansible modules? What is Ansible plugins? And all this stuff like that. So first thing, executable means executable. I don't have to explain it to you. So terms of executable, you get it at certain location. User bin Ansible. I'll show you that. So the moment you install Ansible, you'll get a lots of executable actually. Those you can use in your work. But what is a modules then? So modules is a Python code. Mind it. So what is plugins again? So plugins is also Python code. Then you'll say, okay, modules is a Python code, plugins is a Python code. What exactly is happening? So mind it, modules runs in ARS. Okay, remember ARS with param. Param means parameter. And here plugins run in ACS only. That means plugin is a feature of Ansible. That means if you want to have a more features, you can install more plugins on that. So plugins are features in Python, I mean ACS. You want to increase the capability of Ansible plugins. But if you want to do something in the ARS, then modules. Both are Python code, but modules can be written in a different languages also. Mind it. It's not like only Python. It can be written in PowerShell also, Linux also. So those customizations we are not discussing right now. Whatever we have in Ansible, we are discussing. Are you understanding all of you? So now you should say, okay, can you give me some example of modules? So guys, there's one example which you can say. Let's say copy. I'll ask you this question rather than me telling you. So when you do the copy from in a one machine, so what you pass the parameter? Can you please tell me what parameter you pass?
Source
Percentage.
destination.
Correct. So here there is a, so if I ask you, let's say Ashwarya, you write a Python code for it, and in that Python code you will ask to take you will ask to take user to pass the parameter, and the parameter will be used in the Python code to decide that from where to where copy. So can you not write, all of you? All of you?
Yes.
So same way in Ansible also there's a modules which is running in the ARS with parameters. How many modules are there? Thousands of modules are there. Where we can find out. So go to the internet, just type, that's all. See all modules. There's indexing modules. So there are thousands of modules are there actually. Hell lot of modules are there. Don't try to remember that. Don't try to remember that. You get mad. Okay, these are the categories wise. You see here. See here. These are the categories wise modules. Right? So a lot of modules are there. There's one more page here. This is the official documents by category. See here. These are the categories of module. If you go inside our modules, you will find again lots of modules. So a lot of modules are there, thousands of modules. You don't need to remember everything. I'll teach you pattern for it. So when you get a executable modules, plugin, config files when you install Ansible. Config files is like one etc Ansible config CFG, I guess this is the file. Okay, so this is the configuration file. So what is the use of configuration file? So if you want to configure the Ansible, customize the Ansible, you can do that. For example, there are many things which is hard coded in executables, many things. So you cannot change the executables, right? So what to do in order to change the behavior? So in that case, you can change the config file. Got it? All of you? All of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Ansible when you install. Now, what is a playbook? What is inventory? I need to discuss, but not now. So first, let me install the Ansible. Okay, so let me create a few machines because I don't want to use my VMs in local. That will take some time actually. So, so let me use this some of the VMs here. Okay, so now I'm going to create a VMs. So this is a ACS. I'll create both, I mean ACS and two ARS altogether, something like this. Ansible and 20 and T2 micro is sufficient to go for T2 micro. That's more than sufficient. Keys are selected and security group I am ignoring right now. Everything is not required. 8 GB is sufficient. Two machines is okay for trading durations. Okay, and so these are the two machines I got it, and one I'll make it ACS, and another one I'll make it ARS. Done. Refresh. So this is the IP address ACS ARS. So likewise, you will do the work. Now I log into the ACS, install the Ansible. So go property and keys I'm having, right? Except colors I'm changing for you guys so you can see better. Okay, username is Ubuntu, I know, and done. Now I have one very bad habit, and that is becoming root. So I do everything as a root. Okay, so this is the my machines where I'm going to install Ansible. What to do now? I'll go to the Google and I'll say Ansible install. Mine is Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu. And at the end of it, I will add every tutorials DevOps school because I have written more than 5,000 tutorials. You will definitely find all this. So here you have it, installations guide and configurations and all. So here Ubuntu, right? So this is Ubuntu. This is for CentOS and RH. So let me do this. Enter. And after this one. And after that, this one. And last one, which will install the Ansible, is this one. Simple command will install the Ansible. Yes. Done. So guys, I have installed the Ansible. Now, if I show you here, this is Ansible. So let me show you the executables, modules, plugin, and config file. So you go to which Ansible if you type Ansible. Here it is. Now ls user bin ansi underscore star. See, these are the executables I was talking about. So many executables are there. As part of this training, I'll teach you Ansible is a command line code, and then there's one playbook. This one. Okay, others also you can use it, but it's not used, least used actually. That these are two most important. So executable you got it. Where is the modules and plugins? These are the Python code, right? So Ansible hyphen version. There's lots of locations can be there. See here. Modules are here, here also. This is the user location. That means user modules will be here. System location, there will be system locations. So like that. Okay. It's also is not here, so you have to check this one also. This is the system location. See here. And here lots of modules are here. ls modules. See here. If you look at this, these are a Python code, right? And plugins are here. And outside also there's so many Python code. It's written in Python, so everything is Python. Am I making sense here? This all stuff. All of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, what is a configuration file? So configuration file you will find under the etc ansible and ansible.cfg. This is the file. You should try to spend some time here also. And this is empty right now, but this can be hundreds of line. Example you can find here. Let me just see. Why we use configuration file? So we can replace any of the executables hard coding. So you have to modify this one. I'll modify one. I'll show you that. Okay, so this is the what I showed you, how install Ansible, and you get all this thing. Are you clear with it, all of you? Okay, now next thing is playbook. What is playbook? So guys, playbook is basically play collection of play. Okay, collection of play. Now next question you'll ask, what is play then? What is play then? Right now, because if I say something, you will not understand. So I'm going for very straightforward definition. It's a script. Okay, I'll redefine this keyword a little bit later. But for time being, it's a script which runs in ARS. That means who's going to write it? You. In this script, which will contain what you want to do in ARS. Do you want to install MySQL? Do you want to change some file? Do you want to copy some file? Do you want to download? Do you want to delete? Do you want to modify? Do you want to create a user? Do you want to start services? Do you want to install any packages? Everything you will write in the playbook. I'll explain you a little bit much better, but are you okay with it for time? Definition of playbook?
Yes, sir.
Now, next thing is inventory. What is inventory? I will again come back with a large definition of inventory in some time, but for time being, I'm telling you it's a file. Then we'll say contain what? Contain IP addresses. Any guess for what? Of ARS. Because this script you will run where? These machines. So inventory is the nothing but a kind of file. Sorry. So file of the ARS. Are you understanding, guys? In this image, if you see, you have ACS, ARS, multiple IP address. You put it in the inventory, and then you write a playbook which you want to change. And there's a configurations file, we have it. What you do, very simple flow. Let me put it up in this way. What you do, Ansible, you run on this playbook on these machines. These machines passes through the configuration and modify if any changes required. Run to each of the machines parallelly. Execute it here. Get a response back to the Ansible console. Execute it here. Get it back response to the Ansible control. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello,
Yes.
Bibo. Yeah. Okay. So this is a something. But guys, there's a one thing before getting into the playbook and inventory. Let me ask you one thing. Very simple question. So if I ask you to install one package or copy one files in one machine, would you use a command to complete that work, or would you write a script for it? What would be your approach?
For one machine,
Yeah, one machine for time.
command.
Command, right? Yes, we will use a command. And if you want to do lots of things, then you will write a script. Simple. So here also in Ansible, before going and teaching you playbook, we have a concept which is called Ansible ad hoc commands. That means this will help you to do the things faster in a lot of many of the machines. So what I'm talking about, let me show you. So go to the Ansible blog, I mean DevOps School blog, and here you type Ansible flow. So which flow we should learn? Look at this training flow. And here, let's try to understand this image, okay? And you will understand this. So this is the training plan, which is we should follow. We should do that. So if you want to do one task, when I say task means what? Copying a file is one task. Installing a package is another task. Starting the services another task. Adding a user is another task. So I'm talking about if you want to do one task in a local host, you should use ad hoc command. But if you want to do one task in the remote machine, then you should use ad hoc command. But if you want to do one task in a multiple remote machine, then also you can use ad hoc command. But if you do one task in a multiple remote machine using group, that I'll discuss about it, then you should use ad hoc command. That means if you're running one or two tasks, ad hoc command is more than needed actually. But if you have a multiple task, then we need a playbook. And if you have multiple playbook, then you need a rules, which I'll discuss it sometime. So this is the flow. First, I'll teach you ad hoc command, easy. Then I'll teach you how to convert into the playbook, easy. Then after that, rules. So flow, are you clear with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm teaching you not a playbook. I'm teaching you ad hoc commands. So what you are trying to do? So guys, before you trying to do, write out the requirement project. Don't jump on the Ansible finding out a solution. I repeat, do not jump on the solution directly. First, write it down requirement. So my manager came to me and said, Rajesh, deploy, see this is the requirement, deploy a web server in what? In our environment, production environment. So approach number one, manual. which you should know. You should do that manual activity. But approach number two, automated it. So what I'm going to do, write a script for it. So after that, once we have this one, I will convert into this project into the steps or maybe pseudocode. What is this? Step number one, install Apache 2 in Ubuntu. Why Apache 2? Because Ubuntu supports Apache 2 package. Second number, step number two is copy index.html, which is representing my package, into var. I forgot this var www, right? www html location. Now these locations, because you do it manually, you know that. Okay. And step number three, start Apache service. So you got a project, then you have to convert into pseudocode steps, and then after that you are going to look for modules. I repeat, thousands of modules are there. Modules are nothing but the Python code but runs in ARS. So now question is, which module will install packages, which modules will copy files, which module will start a services. So I'm going to ask, because there's thousands of module, I'm going to ask. Nowadays you have chat GPT, guys, so you'll get everything very fast. But build the logic, because you're learning, right? So build the logic. So earlier I used to go for Ansible module for what is that, install packages, and I used to get it. See here, this is the module for RHEL YUM. This is for generic one. This you can use in many operating system, and APT has not come. Here it is, but you can be specific also. Module for install packages in Ubuntu. I just said thousands of modules are there. You should only do this one. Okay. So now you got the module's name. The module's name is APT. So likewise, you have to find out the module for all other also. What? Copy files. So copy module here. Service start. See, it's a pattern. Service module. So I got to know APT module, copy module, and service module. Are you understanding the logic? How you should go ahead when do the programming, all of you? Hello?
Got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't jump on the assignment immediately. So you got a pseudo code, I got a modules. Now you know what? Because you are learning right now, don't rush. Okay? Don't rush. You have to learn the modules very well. So spend some time. If you try to complete the work without understanding, that's a disaster. You may get it. I understand that there's thousands of modules, but at least 15-20 modules you have to read it this page thoroughly, so you get a habit of reading others if required. So here I said each modules you have a parameter. So now I want to know which parameter is supported by this. So these are the parameters table. Actually, you see such a beautiful tables, you have it. These are the options, you will have it. You don't need to use it, depends on this use cases, but these are the parameters for APT modules. Okay. If you want to know something, these parameters, understand manual APT. See here, I don't know how many of you have got the interest to look at it. These are the parameters actually. Same thing you have here also, but in an Ansible way. And here you see is added, this parameter is added in Ansible core 2.13. Which one I am having? I am having most latest one only, Ansible version, and it's 2.12. So it's added in recently. So you see that. Now here you see which are the parameters value default set, false here set, but if you want to make it true, you have to specify it. And the good documentation have given, so no one can help you in this. You have to read it. If you say, Rajesh, I got a project, I want to code in 1 hour, then you are in wrong domain. Actually, you have to understand first. So likewise, I will read this APT, I will read the copy module, I will read this module, what is this service module, or any modules which you come across the requirement. This is a copy module, see same way, and there's a service module here, same way. Nowadays ChatGPT is there, so you will find little easy, but yeah, but you have to understand this. So we got a project, we got a module name. Now I'm going to ad hoc command. So here ad hoc command Ansible, where you want to run localhost, module name apt, sorry, module m apt. This is the common for running ad hoc commands. Now you'll say, Rajesh, how do you know that? From where I would get to know if I want to know more stuff. So guys, nothing great about it. Ansible enter. Do Ansible and spelling mistake. And see here. Spend some time, 15 minutes, read each lines, okay? These are the options you have available. These are the pattern you have it. These are the arguments you have it. And these are the connection options for remote machine, SSH or WinRM, whatever it is. And these are the escalating the actions. So what I use, hyphen m. Hyphen m means what? Look at this here, module name. Now I need to pass the arguments. How do I pass it? A. Look at this. So this you have to get it sooner. Hyphen a, and so on. Now the question is which parameter, let's say apt, which parameter I'll use it. So now this is completely depends on your learnings. Okay. So which parameter you will use it? So here you have to look at this one parameter which is required. Do we have anything required? Without that I cannot use it? No, I don't see any required in table. That means everything is optional. Then what I will use my own logic. What I want. So understand that every modules will have a state. Every module will have a state for sure. What this state represent? Let me ask you one simple question, common sense. What can you do with the file? Tell me quickly. What can you do with the file?
Open, close.
You can create a file, delete a file, modify a file. Agree?
Yeah.
What can you do with the directory? Quickly. Same. What can you do with the user? Add user, modify the user, delete user. Group, add a group, modify the group, delete the group. Package, install the package, remove the package, update the package. Services, start, stop, restart, enable, disable, all these things you can do that. So this is the called state actually. So here you say apt, here they are giving you many states options. And none is, the default is present. Absent means delete, latest means latest update, fixed, present, and some explanations also. Okay, so you have to address like that. So here common sense, what are the needs? So quickly, name of the package. So here I'll put it this one in the code, name is equal to what? So you want to Apache 2, and what state you want? State I want latest or something like that. Or present default anyways is there, but I will specify latest, so you have to specify. Else automatically it will take present. Simple, done. So this is the way you have to do. Now copy hyphen a, copy src, what is index.html, and definition where is the location. So I now I know that, I remember that, so I'm telling you, but you have to initially spend some time with that. Services hyphen a, what name of the package? Apache 2. What you want state? Started. I'm not able to recall whether started or something else, so let me check that. Service and state here, and you have a started. Started, yeah. Stopped, restarted, reloaded, started. Yeah, done. So guys, my ad hoc code is ready. So did you find any difficulties? If you follow the approach, right approach, you will get it. Requirement, pseudocode, locate the modules and argument, and then write ad hoc codes. This ad hoc codes will run the things in your machine. Look at the flow one more time. Where is that? See here, first one we are doing. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello?
Yes, Rajesh.
So can I check that which Apache 2 in this machine? Nothing is there. So let me run this. Enter. Done. It's Ansible is idiomapotent. Okay. So if one time is done, the second time it will say change false. That means it will not try to modify. So if there is until there is a change true. Okay. Done. Can we have this file? I mean this one. So I don't have this one. This index.html. So I'll create one index.html. Welcome to DevOps School classes. And save it. Now I'm going to run this. Copy done. And the last one, I'm starting the services. Done. So this site in the local machine only. So can I check this? Web server deployed in the local machine or not? See. Done. So my ad hoc commands is working. So now I can try the same task in the remote machine, multiple remote machine, using inventory and all. So did you understand now, all of you?
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.